The following is a presentation of TFNN. The Power Trading Hour with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, David White.
And welcome all to another excellent edition of the Power Trading Hour. What do we got going on today? We're off a little bit on the S&P's, off 7. I thought we'd probably be off more by this time. Not surprising, though, from last night's earnings call. NASDAQ off 133, and frankly, that is probably the best case scenario. As we get to what really matters in the sit rep, it's the ad apocalypse for a handful of companies. About a year and a half ago, Apple announced that it was changing its policies and also its operating system for those that continued to try to steal its clients' data. Most notably, Facebook was the one who was doing it, mostly because you had to sue Facebook in their home state, and the judges wouldn't do anything. Lawsuits didn't go very far. So what happened? Well, Apple said, hey, we're going to change it if you don't correct your ways. And an economy with any kind of scruples, Zuckerberg continued to molest everybody's data that by the terms of every agreement he had no right to do, continued on, lied about it. Probably, if anybody should be up for lying to Congress, it should be Zuckerberg and Bezos. Both of them fragrantly out their human exhaust port lied about it. So anyway, they ended up changing the operating system. This is the first big quarter to find out exactly how that impacted everybody. And of course, for Snap, it was absolutely tragic. Let's see where my earnings stock here. Take a look at it. It was off 25%. Almost 27% last night, still off 25% today. Facebook, fascist book. We didn't, I got a lot of names, none that I could use on the air. We're still trying to rename fake book, fascist book, whatever it is. It's down to almost $20, on 5.8%. So who else is in line for this? Yeah, some people use Google products on Apple. So maybe there's a little bit there. Twitter, let's see what the old Twitsters are doing. TWTR. It's off 4%. I'm not exactly sure why this one gets a little bit more love than Facebook and Snap, but it does. Anyway, what can we look forward to with Facebook? Have we hit a fairly long-term high in the stock? Nothing but tragedy, despair, and agony going forward. I'm just surprised that Zuckerberg is still the CEO and not Amstrade Attenlay for all the eventual lawsuits, legal ramifications for the evil that they've done in the past. But that's kind of it. It's not going to get any better. We're only probably going to see more in the way of antitrust suits against these folks. So the socials, more like a social disease. See what I did there? Fed juice, as shown in the TLT today. We've had much bigger runs over 2 days of cash inflows. I haven't seen the kind of money that they put into the market. TLT's up $1.13 today. This is the smallest bounce we've gotten from a late Wednesday to Friday move in the bond market. So either the Fed's pushing less, or what he's pushing ain't pushing the way that she used to do. What was that? The old gray mare? Don't do what you used to do. Something like that. I remember our grandmother singing that song. Anyway, the old gray mare ain't what she used to be. I think that was what she said. Anyway, it's note 64-ounce big gulp. You know, I haven't seen it in a long time, but I can remember in the 80s and 90s, people would come out in what looked like a 2-gallon pail of Coke or whatever they were drinking. All I know is a 64-ounce big gulp. Of course, they've been throwing that around for months. But what happens when you're unsatiated by the 64-ounce big gulp of Fed juice? Well, you bounce $1, I guess is what happens. Anyway, that's the kind of stuff that really interests me today. We'll get to some other stocks, mostly earnings out here. But we'll look. Bloomberg big gulps. And yes, I did see the gal from Bloomberg, the tech gal, go after the guy. I haven't watched her for a long time. They used to have a guy on there that was really good on tech. The gal that's on there now is just vapid and ignorant. So I don't watch it anymore. But yeah, everybody sent me the thing about the Florida tycoon down here. So I have seen that. But she just more of the same. You know, there's a big problem when you decide that all the news you're going to get comes from one place, and that is San Francisco. We talk about it from time to time, but there was a guy that's referenced in Fooled by Randomness by Nassim Taleb, and I'll look it up during the break and tell you his name again. I want to say his name was Martin something. I do digress. He called it the firehouse theory, and it worked very well on Wall Street because everybody went to the same schools, they went to the same places, and everybody decided on the same trades. And invariably, they all got incredibly crowded because nobody was thinking for themselves. They were always thinking whatever the rest of the bunch was thinking. He called it the firehouse theory because, of course, there was a big study done where they took people of a specific political persuasion and moved them around to different firehouses that had predominantly conservative and liberal individuals. And after a couple of years, found out that their views pretty much started to meld into the rest of the firehouse. And he said that people with too much downtime that sit there and talk to each other that aren't from different persuasions are just going to talk themselves into stuff that nobody else could ever justify. They'll just talk themselves into nuttiness. Well, see that every day in the headlines today, isn't it? They'll just talk themselves into stuff that's absolutely bat crap crazy. Well, we'll be back in a minute.
Are you grinding in the market, but seeing little to no return? Or are you a successful trader, simply looking to make your job a little easier? Learn to take the path of least resistance with David White's powerful trading newsletter. David White is an accomplished trader whose deep understanding of technology and the markets allows him to consistently find and share winning trades. Support and resistance define the ranges in which stocks trade. By understanding these trading ranges, David White is able to find the path of least resistance. David White's trading newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, is delivered daily before the markets open to make every trading day an easy win. Visit TFNN.com today and subscribe to David White's Ultimate Trading Newsletter for $119 a month, and try all of our newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Take the path of least resistance at TFNN, educating investors.
What's separating you from the most successful men and women on Wall Street? That's right, information. Having all the information gives us the perspective we need to place the right trades at the right time. The TAS Profile Scanner is the premier market profile-based scanner. Powered by its acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner instantly filters over 2,500 plus global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodities, futures, and Forex. This powerful suite of tools leverages instant trade filtering and strategy formulation to show you emerging trades before they happen. For a limited time, you can save $100 off your first month by using the promo code UPGRADE, and you still get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Level the playing field with the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find under the Services tab at TFNN.com. Sign up today.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
As we return, we're going to the phones. And it is John from Philly. How you doing today, John?
David, I'm doing very well. It's always good to speak to you, sir. Wanted to ask you a follow-up question to your last segment topic. You first stated it's been about a year since you and others were aware that Apple was working in multiple ways to crack down on the gathering of Apple iPhone data by Facebook and the like. And what I wanted to ask is, could you share with us your understanding as to why that change of policy inside Apple and the things that they were up to, either legally in the courts or dealing with operating system changes and modifications, why that change has abruptly hit Snap, and we'll find out next week if the same has hit Facebook. Why it's happened in the past 90 days and not prior to that, I'd be interested.
Because they rolled out the new version of iOS midsummer. And that had all the fixes to make sure to block all the available ports for these companies to send their data back. So they basically, the new iOS put in a firewall that you couldn't get around. They had one before, and Facebook rode around it. And they disguised it. They knew they were doing wrong. And then that started a war of words. I'm going to say somewhere around Christmas last year.
Yes, right. You spoke of it then.
Yeah, so it was something like that. It was good 9-10 months ago, maybe longer, maybe a year, when these guys were openly going at it after each other in the press between Zuckerberg and the Apple CEO. So I don't know what else changes here. They just turned off the water. I mean,
so you're saying it was after the end of the second quarter, June 30th, Apple...
Yeah, I think they shipped the new iOS on the 15th of June. Right?
Okay,
So not everybody didn't get it, but through this last quarter, people were updating their phones. They got the new iOS, and that had all the new firewall stuff that kept Facebook from going back at it. Also, the terms of service now are pretty rock solid in the fines that if Apple or if Facebook or anybody else decides to go around that firewall. You know, you have to assign a developer a contract with Apple to distribute your products there. And one of the things in there is a pretty hefty fine if you decide to go around that now. You know, you always live and learn, and that's why contracts keep getting bigger and bigger, not smaller, right? So those contracts...
I appreciate that. Just thinking through that and extending it, of course, Facebook earnings are reported, I think it's next week, and if it's not, it's the week after, but very soon. Facebook is currently 320 off the 384 high. Could you envision the sales impact at Facebook be such that it could conceivably trigger more selling and drive the stock down into that 280 to 260 range, possibly?
Yes. The big thing, Snap down 25% in a day. I think the thing could happen to Facebook too, but I'm more worried long term, at least historically. Companies that have gone into antitrust have had huge downturns from 25 to 50% after the announcement of the antitrust suit, if they're justified, like Microsoft in the past. Before then, I'm trying to remember the big one in the 1980s, maybe AT&T and the others. But historically, these things have gone 25 to 50% off after the antitrust suit had been announced. So
yeah, excellent point on that. I thank you for that. One last topic I wanted to ask you about, Micron. There is at least a talking debate that's getting active regarding the stock price itself. And the debate hinges on, is the pricing pressure in the DRAM market such that it drives the stock cyclically lower towards, that 60 to 50 range, or is the stock price going to look through that pricing pressure and base out above that level? So that we've got that debate, which is fairly public right now. The other topic that I'm aware of with the stock was the management discussion just this past week that they'd be spending over the next 5 years just oodles and oodles of dollars on capital expenditures. I'm wondering where you shake out on that debate, stock basing here, looking through near-term weakness, or declining another 10 to 20% first.
The big thing with Micron is the next edition of memory for PCs and servers. They're going to DDR6. It's an instant 100% speed upgrade and more. I'm going to say 125, 150% probably is what you're looking at in most PCs and servers. There's two kinds of memories. There's the kind that you put in your PC, and there's the kind that go into servers. I haven't really talked a lot about it, but it's called, the ones in the servers called error correcting, anyway, it's ECC. It's error correcting memory. If you just sit around, there's enough stray particles coming from the sun that it's going to hit something about once a week and cause a bit to flip. And maybe that bit is important, maybe it's not in your home PC. But since they're running 24/7 a lot more condensed. You're probably going to get one in your server, and the error correcting memory will sense that and correct for it. So you know the stray atomic particles being hit or sent to us every day and going through you at the rate of billions of times a second, although we can't see them or feel them, do change memory on an occasion. So there is a kind of difference between those two. Now, what I'm saying is all these new stuff, the slowest part of a computer is that memory. You get memory to jump 100%. There isn't going to be anybody buying servers with DDR5 memory. They're going to go right to 6. So it's we're looking for a pretty good, robust pop in Micron as that goes forward. We'll be back in a minute.
Thank you, Dave.
Okay.
Are you having fun trading the markets but having trouble finding like-minded individuals to discuss your trading and investment ideas with? Become an apex predator in the trading markets and join the Tiger's Den Trading Room only at TFNN.com. The Tiger's Den is an exclusive trading room where successful traders from around the world come to exchange trades and ideas. Join the den and surround yourself with the sharpest minds in the trading world. Subscribers to the Tiger's Den are also the first to have their questions answered live on air and can privately chat with our TFNN hosts live during their shows. Interact with other tigers and tigresses as they share trading ideas, news analysis, and discuss the market action all trading day. Subscribe to the Tiger's Den risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee and become part of the TFNN trading community. TFNN, educating investors.
You could be making money off the stock market. And if you're already making money off the stock market, you could be making a lot more. Check out TFNN and Tiger TV and get expert investing advice to give you the power to control your financial future. Go to TFNN.com and find the newsletter for you. Whether you're into trading gold, metals, futures, currencies, or options, you'll get advice and analysis to help you seriously get ahead. TFNN also features trading services with a 30-day money-back guarantee for new subscribers, as well as TFNN's Tiger Den Trading Room, trading software, and educational webinars for all trading levels. And make sure you check out Tiger TV for free on TFNN.com or TFNN's YouTube channel for live financial content from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern on market days. Stop watching on the sidelines while other people get rich and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
This segment is brought to you by Thinkorswim. For more information, just click the Thinkorswim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And looking at Micron, what happens? We talked about, what was it? I'm going to think about it in a minute. The luggable PC from about 1983. Going to drive me nuts here. Anyway, they announced a product far in advance of it being available, and it killed sales and eventually destroyed the company. That's been a long-held thing that you don't announce a product until you can see the whites of its eyes. And one of the things we see out here today is that you can't get around it with memory and Micron. There's got to be a spec for it. They make a part that works in another part. In fact, they just came out with the next revision of the next type of memory last week. We won't see that for 3 years down the line, maybe 4 years. Takes a excruciating long time. Well, everybody knows that the latest DDR memory is coming out. It's going to be twice as fast as the other stuff. The standard memory for your PC today, if you went out and bought it, would be running at 2400. I think the lowest speed memory you're going to be able to buy, I think, is 5600. So like I said, it's not just like a double at 4800. It's 5600 compared to 2400. So that's 5.6 gigahertz. I think that's what it is. It ends up being. And it's not quite that. They came up with a way to do memory both on odd and even cycles, so it's really running at half that speed, but effectively you're getting that out of it. So a lot of stuff to get into the weeds on. Just know that it's better than what would you do if you had a car that did 100 and the next year they came out with a car that did 200? That's basically what you got now. You got one, and maybe it's 25% more expensive. Is it really any more to build? Probably not. That's why generally these early cycles and things like memory are very good. It may be a commodity. There may be a couple of people that are designing and building it. Right now, Micron, I think, is going to be the first company out with it. And you just can't start spending money on older technology unless it's incredibly cheap. And it's not going to be that much cheaper. So I don't think you're going to see really any motherboards sold with the older DDR 4 or 5 memory. You're just going to go straight to the 6. That'll be it. 877-927-6648. You can give me a call. And other things going on out here. I said what I wanted to get into a little bit. Problem is I got to move stuff around. I got stuff everywhere. My computer desktop is littered with stuff. But I wanted to get back to earnings out here. Let's do that. Get my earnings back up here. Let's see what actually is moving here. Snap was off the worst. Wanted to get to Intel, as I've said for the last since the new round of CEOs in Intel. It's not going to get any better. These guys have dug themselves a hole, and all I can think of every time I see Intel is Andy Grove's desk. There's a kind of a famous picture of him, and it says, "If we don't eat our own lunch, someone else will." And they decided to ignore that over a number of years, and now they're getting their lunch ate, and it's not going to change overnight. The new guy, is he much better than the hack that they had, the political hack that they had? I think so. But does it matter? No. There was 2 years while they fooled around with that idiot. And, of course, that was one of those guys that came in there presumably to look for a new CEO. And amazingly enough, it was him. Okay. Who would know that someone went and dug up something from 12 years ago, got the CEO fired, and somehow ended up in the CEO's position? Now we've had, that kind of round robin thing. We got a new guy. He's kind of from the old guard, but he don't have the fire. He's got the knowledge. I don't know if he's got the fire. And two, the hack that they had in there before put in a bunch of idiots that were all kind of that idea that it doesn't really matter what we sell. It's how we look politically, both inside and outside the company. So I continue to think These guys have lots of problems. They also are a little delusional. As we said a couple of weeks ago, they made a big deal out of matching the ASML product lines specs from 5 years ago. So I don't see anything that changes what these guys are doing too much. Now, they do have kind of the first decent processors in a couple of years that may even compete with AMD coming out in November. I think November. We don't have the reviews on them yet. The numbers that they give are fairly impressive if they actually do that. But we'll wait and see. We're about a month to go. I'm not going to imagine Intel moving that much on new retail consumer processor at the high end, ones that cost maybe $500, $750. But again, a lot of the money now for Intel is in that gaming part of the business, and AMD just seems to be right there, working already with video cards and processors for that gaming kind of high-end workstation product out here. Anyway, Intel, nothing's changed. I want to do the loser thing from Ace Ventura. I don't think I have it to play it, but that's kind of it. It's not much there. Anyway, yeah. Krasanich was a pretty smart guy. They just always continued to undermine him at every point when he wanted to spend money to keep up with the Joneses, and it was problematic. Andy Grove, he was the dude. I've read, he's got a couple of, if you want to invest in technology, he and there was another guy named David Owl. Let me see if I can find it on the old Amazon. Marketing, high technology. There it is. William Davidow, and he was in there. But if you want to really understand how those guys worked, the reason I bring this up is, guess what? Microsoft went back to the exact same thing that made them great as soon as the last hack CEO left Microsoft, and they've done nothing but go straight up. There is wisdom in the past if you look for it. And Intel continues to look the other way. We'll be back in a minute.
Are you in the market for buying or selling real estate in the Bay Area, including the surrounding St. Petersburg, Tampa, and Clearwater markets? Tiger Real Estate LLC is a firm that has extensive experience in the Tampa Bay area. Whether you're looking to sell your current property for maximum value, or you're in the market for a second home or investment property, Tiger Realty has the experience across all areas of real estate in the Tampa Bay area to help buyers and sellers make the most informed decisions across all price levels. From the price you should be paying per square foot in certain up-and-coming areas to the type of cash flow investment properties are capable of creating, Tiger Real Estate can help you make the best decision when it comes to all areas of the market. Before you make one of the biggest decisions of your financial future, call Tiger Real Estate LLC today at 727-329-8322 or email us at tiger@tfnn.com. That's 727-329-8322. Call us today.
The technology around us is changing every day. With so much happening, it can seem impossible to keep up with all the information. David White's investment newsletter, The Technology Insider, is designed to give you all the information you need to understand the technology that shapes today's markets and tomorrow's future. David White has made his living staying on the cutting edge of technology. His weekly newsletter will give you specific recommendations for value tech stocks, as well as entry prices, target prices, and stops to set for each trade. Dave delivers his weekly newsletters every Friday with updates throughout the week. You can get the Technology Insider at TFNN.com for only $37.50. Sign up for David's newsletter, The Technology Insider, and get an inside look at everything the technology sector has to offer. Try it risk-free today with our 30-day money-back guarantee. TFNN, educating investors.
Are China A-shares hot or not? If you trade China A-shares, now may be time to take a closer look. Trade CHAU or CHAD, Directions Daily CSI 300 China A-share Bull and Bear ETFs. China A-shares in either direction. Visit directioninvestments.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
As we return, I was talking about this book, Marketing High Technology. I give it huge praise. I bought it, I think, just after it came out. I don't remember what year it was. But a lot of what I did personally was this book and a handful of others on marketing technology. They tend to be the Bibles that everybody reads, why startups pretty much and existing companies pretty much run the same way. There's an orthodoxy out there for making transcendent technology and keeping on top of the game. But great book. You'll really see and understand how things go because basically everybody follows it, at least in semiconductors. This is the big thing. Other things that we are looking at here for earnings or lack thereof. We'll take a quick look at Facebook. The fascist book, big gap down. Yeah, you might find a temporary low out here over the next few days around that 320. We talked about that. We also talked about this actually turning into a potential ABC on the way down. Seems almost ludicrous that we talked about this less than 24 hours ago. But a 1-to-1 out here would be 277.02 on the fascist book. So, okay, other things going on. On the positive side, so I'm not a Debbie Downer, is where you're starting to go through some of the bigger, lower moves in American Express. Depends on what you want to look at, but you've got a monster extension of one that goes back years to 176. You got to 189 on the top here. This could be a blow-off top, or at least short-term in that. You got okay volume, but nothing really to write home about. I would worry that this gap's down on Monday, so you want to keep an eye on that. I'm not predicting it. I'm just saying if you see a gap down in this and I was long, then I'd probably take my cash. But I'm not predicting it so much as saying if it doesn't. Other going on out here, a company that has had more lives after being pronounced dead, even by me, is Seagate Technology, the hard drive manufacturer. Gapped up a little bit on earnings. Of course, the data just continues to flow, and you need to put those somewhere. And they're, for the most part, on these big 16 and 32 terabyte drives now, depending on what's going on. But even that's considered kind of cold storage these days. Intel's done fairly well. Other companies are kind of coming in on that DDR style memory and the blades for the servers. But certainly a nice bounce here today, decent volume. But this is just a business that eventually is the buggy whip compared to the automobile. Not a lot of long-term reason to continue on with it. It just continues to get slower and slower compared to computers that can generate data faster and faster. Eventually, it will all be some kind of solid-state memory. Platter drives still give and will for a while, a good way to have data that you don't need instantly, although they continue to have tricks. Some of the new stuff coming out, though, will mean that not only memory, as in Micron, but actually memory for hard drives is going to radically be faster, too, even for lowlings. With personal computers or even desktop or workstations. The server business is certainly going to see DDR technology move faster and faster. So it's good and bad. It's good that they continue to make more data that has to go on these slower drives, so people are still buying them. They're not going to go out of business. But there is going to be a tipping point, and that'll be the end of Seagate and Western Digital. See how Western Digital is actually doing. I mean, there are still horses today. I just don't know anybody that uses them for regular transportation. What did I... WDC, right? Right? Okay. Needed to add the C. This one, not so much, but you know what? I think we're probably just talking about a long, slow, painful decline for years to come. And could we have individual bounces? I think you can. But these guys are not memory producers. Western Digital bought the old Toshiba company to get access to memory so that they could compete in DDR, in SSD style hard drives. But I don't know. It's hard for me to believe these guys have any kind of long-term solution. The biggest winner on the day, which we have somebody in the den was talking about this earlier in the morning. You got to a high of $24.10, 23.83 is the last tick. Good day, lots of volume, big trading range back up to 26.51, and this looks like it will meander its way back up there. Other stocks, Whirlpool up 3% on earnings. I'm hearing a lot of problems getting all kinds of white goods. Apparently, most of them are all stacked up at the Long Beach Harbor, but sales are still brisk. But the question is how quick that gets taken care of. We can continue to see Nero play his fiddle as Rome burns on that issue down at the docks. I think eventually will absolutely bite us all on the rear end. I went into some stores this week. Shelves are empty. They need to get busy. Quit fiddling. Get to work. And you know who I'm talking about. 215.63. It's nice reversal out here, mostly because this didn't hit in the corner or in the quarter. And they're just saying that their sales may be a little delayed into the late part of this next quarter, but everything will eventually, they're looking optimistically that everything will get delivered and people will be buying their new washer and dryer and dishwasher and all that other stuff. Shelves are empty because people are buying as if they need to get into Christmas shopping now. I bought a month ago. I long was over that, but now there's a ton of stuff. The local Walmart has about 30 containers. They rope off one side of it. They've got about 10 containers right now. And I talked to the guy. He says, no, we're still waiting for those other 20 to show up. Sitting at Long Beach. We'll be back in a minute.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern. For free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
You might think that if you want to be successful at trading in the stock market, you're going to need a crystal ball. After all, it's impossible to predict the future, right? Like any endeavor in life, before you decide it's impossible, get some advice from the experts. You might find that it's not so impossible after all. For daily market overviews that give you direction on the key indices, selective stocks, and commodities, subscribe to the Opening Call newsletter at TFNN.com. The Opening Call newsletter is written by Basil Chapman, creator of the trading methodology known as the Chapman Wave. The Chapman Wave up-down sequence gives you an edge in identifying price turns, finding the peaks and valleys in stock prices. Get the Opening Call newsletter by Basil Chapman in your inbox every day. First-time subscribers also get a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you're not satisfied, let us know, and you'll get a full refund within 30 days of signing up. TFNN.com, educating investors.
Are you looking for a secured investment which pays you on a monthly basis? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be the program for you. The best rate on a 5-year CD in the country right now, according to Bankrate.com, is paying 1% per year or $1,000 per $100,000 invested. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly, on secured, high-value, buildable properties in St. Petersburg, Florida. The investment is for 4 years, paying 7% per year or $7,000 per $100,000 invested. Your investment is secured by high-value real estate in St. Petersburg, Florida. Your investment can be anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000. Do you want to make $1,000 per year on $100,000 invested or $7,000 per year on a secured Tiger First mortgage? The Tiger First Mortgage Program may be just the program for you. The Tiger First Mortgage Program pays 7% per year, paid monthly. For more information, you can call 877-518-9190. That's 877-518-9190.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
As we come back, Dan and the Den brought up Tesla. You went through to 910 today, above the previous high of $900.40. That goes back to January 25th. That had 41 million shares. Into that with less than half today. So, over a long time, it looks like you got a giant range set up from about 550 to $900 in this stock. We'll see how it closes. But it's hard for me to believe that that like most stuff, you get most of these people all in at the top. Certainly not a lot of volume today. We can say that, even compared to yesterday. So not much in the way of follow through. Probably some short squeezes. They opened the stock up lower and pushed it higher. But at some point, everybody that's invested in a company will be invested. And you need to pull back to get people to think that maybe there's a deal to be had, not just saying that it's going to go to the sky. Jack and the Beanstalk was a story, not the truth. So as we get ready to wrap up the end of the day, question, we've got a lot of stocks trying to hit these new highs. at least in the indexes. Most of them are kind of selling off. But when we look at the volumes out here, the question is, do we have some fairly decent volume in the market? And yeah, it's better today than it was yesterday, which was kind of a 50-50 day. Let's see, get back over here. But we're still off 3 points. We got a lot of volume. Pretty much advanced decline lines are 50-50, at least they were yesterday. Probably the same today. We're going to see you Monday, same bat channel. No, we're not. I'm not here Monday. I'm here Tuesday. See you Tuesday. Same bat channel, same bat time. So when you can.